I'm slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. Fall is in the air and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go. 70, Indy.
Coming this way, here we go.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
He'll come up now, 2nd and 4 from the 31.
We want it. Coming my way.
Wahoo!
Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Check it back.
Throwing Jones. This one into the hands of Metcalf. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of...
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go again. Watch
General West.
Bang.
Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. We thought this defense would be opportunistic, and they were. Here, you're already up. Now you got a 2-touchdown lead. I tell you, going out there on defense, did they have a little bit of extra momentum with a score already on the board?
Oh, without a doubt. That already felt good to them. They took it and used it and obviously put up another one. But here's the thing now. Some defense coordinators might want to pull their guys back a little bit because they don't want them to make mistakes because they're too overamped. Others say, I've got a 2-touchdown lead. Go get them, guys. They'll be even more aggressive.
This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there's no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
64, weak, bravo.
He's checking. Crash. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. You go tight. You got
Yes. Ready?
Here's Jones, operating from the gun. It's hauled in by Shepard. 17 yards and a giant first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
60 yards.
You might be getting tired of seeing me.
Go. Please grip.
A first down carry for Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Squeeze.
3 bud. Big Ed. Check 37. Check 43.
You're out.
Check 50. Slam.
Let's go.
Now Jones. And he couldn't hang on. Almost an interception there defensively. Instead, it brings up 4th.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively, you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Well, they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it. They'll run with Barkley. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Saquon Barkley denied on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things set.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. On play action, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
And they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Saquon Barkley. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here we go. Set. 60 outlaw.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Hit it.
Now Jones from the gun on third down. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. DK Metcalf. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Looking to throw on second down. Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Let's go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Recon, 132 fighter. Go, go.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 4.
Throwing on second down. Jones. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it.
Let's go. 91.
It's our time. It's our time.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. On second down, here's Barkley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Check, 53's Mike. Here we go, here we go. Pick the edge, pick the edge.
Go now.
On third down, Barkley. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a fourth down. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on fourth down. Jones throwing on fourth down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headset now that they're 0 for 2. If they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football.
Negative yardage. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kyle Van Noy in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Bring up 48.
Play fake. Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
On second and 11 now. Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And able to find Kirk complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. That seemed like a much-needed touchdown after 21 unanswered points to start the game.
It's not often that you equate a football game to a golf tournament, but it's like you don't want to shoot yourself out of the tournament too early. So they needed that touchdown to make sure that they got an opportunity to not just get back into this game, but a chance to win it later if they continue to play well.
This will be taken short. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Our first update now comes from Atlanta, and it's the NFC champs, the Falcons, that have moved down to an early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
8, read. 53.
On second down, Barkley. And he's got room. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, as the first half is winding down, and the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Get it.
Now they're just going to run it here up the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 3rd down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Hey, we're good.
First down. Here's Cousins. Forced out to his left. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
Why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line.
Let's go!
The Giants take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The 3rd quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. One play has them up past the 40 already and another 1st and 10. The Red Sea parts and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 3 in the game and 6 on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead is up to 15 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe than returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Check.
Again, it's Cook. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Yellow.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Open man is Kirk, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Janoris Jenkins. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
30 base. Hey, Echo.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 8.
On 2nd and 9. Jones looking deep down. It's caught inside the 25. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. Jones now on 1st and 10. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. From 21 yards away. And thanks to the interception, the Giants offense cashes in with 6. Rosas good with the extra point. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though,
that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense.
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We know these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting him out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. It's Barkley on the counter. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down now, Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. 1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this 1st down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well at hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited? Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Giants, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. They will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no check.